Hey, this will be a video chart on BEHL. Been a very long time since the last time I did it, and I thought this one was pretty much done for. But I got a bunch of requests for it yesterday and kind of was wondering why. I pulled up the chart, and then it made perfect sense. I didn't want to do anything yesterday because I did want to see how the week closed out. And overall, we had some profit takers definitely, but still above the key moving averages and support levels. So the daily chart's hanging in there. If you're a day trader and you bought up here, then you're probably going to be in some pain. But for the people that are following the daily chart and this is more of a longer term trade or whatever, then yes, the chart is still hanging in there. It's approaching some areas where we want to see things hold up. But the main thing that I'll have my eye on, and the main question that I'm going to be asking myself is history going to repeat itself? And what I mean by that is if we go back through the chart, and we actually have a pretty decent example right off the bat here. You can see that chart really made a nice move upwards here, and then afterwards you can see just fell back apart and nothing came of it. Another time right here you can see the chart really started to come to life, had 3 great days, and then from there just fell back apart and headed back down. Now, am I saying that that is for surely what's going to happen here? I'm not saying that, but it is something that you do need to take into consideration, that the chart does have a history since it's been in this downtrend of making a couple nice moves and then just heading right back down to put in lower lows. Now, the good news is with this big explosive move on Thursday, it really gave the chart quite a few levels of support now that it hasn't had for a long time. Once again, if we go back and look at these other strong moves, you can see that it's gotten some resistance or some supports underneath it, but this time it really made a good strong move, and it's got quite a few of the key moving averages now underneath it, which are providing support for it. So looking here, we have this purple line, which is the 50-day simple moving average, and always important moving average within the world of technical analysis, and this is now below us. So this is going to be the first key level of support that ideally we would like to see the bulls be able to hold. Right now that's valued at 0.004. So the 50-day is the ideal level. If you were to ask me what would be the best case scenario for this chart to have, it would be to pull down here, bounce around a little bit, consolidate before heading back up. Now, if that doesn't happen, not the end of the world, because like I said, we do have some nice other support levels below us besides just the 50-day. We also have the 10 and 20-day simple moving averages. 20-day being this gold line, 10-day being this blue line, and those ones are more of shorter term trend kind of finders and support levels, but nonetheless they are providing support. And on that note of short-term trend finders, you can see that the 10 has now bowed back up. So the short term is starting to go bullish. I'm not going to call it quite bullish yet, just because we've only had 2 days with upwards action. But seeing the 10-day peek its head upwards, if the price can stay above the 50-day, these two are going to curl upwards, and that's going to trigger a short-term bullish trend. Obviously, right now the medium term is still down with the decreasing 50-day, but the longer the price can stay above the 50-day, the quicker and quicker it's going to level out and then eventually turn back up. And that's what everybody wants to see, I'm sure. Now, this is just my opinion, but if the price falls down here, can't hold the 50-day, and then can't hold these moving averages right here, this little clump which is at 0.003, then I think that history is just going to repeat itself, and it'll come down here, at least test 002, and probably fall through. Hopefully that's not the case, but given the history of the chart and what happens, if these ones can't hold up here, then this was just kind of a one-day type wonder, not really a genuinely strong move, and I don't see much coming out of it. But if these support levels do hold, that's how you answer the question of, is this really a strong move? Whatever caused it, I don't know, and I don't really care. All I care about is there any genuine strength behind this? If there is genuine strength, then these support levels should hold. Like I said, the 50-day doesn't have to hold, but the 10 and 20 down here are kind of the must-hold levels. And if you just think about it, if this really does have some genuine strength behind it, why wouldn't these hold? You'd think there'd be plenty of people down here wanting to buy if this is a genuinely strong move. And if it doesn't, that's just one of those signs where it must have just been some sort of kind of dead cat bounce without any real kind of force behind it. Resistance-wise, we have kind of a couple out of my eye, and the first one going to be just a kind of mild one, I'll call it, but it was the high from yesterday that was broken through today. However, because the price didn't close above it, it is still technically a resistance. I'll leave this line skinny just to represent it being a resistance, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to be too hard to get through if there's another nice push. And then the other key area of resistance right now is simply going to be where the profit takers decided to step in today, which is up here at 0068. So 0068 will be a little bit harder and thicker, I think, to get through. But if this momentum can keep up and the volume can stay strong, then I don't see why this one wouldn't be able to fall. The other thing to note, and this is what I'll end the video on, is keep your eye on volume. With any sort of sideways or downwards price action, you want to see volume just fall off a cliff. If the price decides to head back up, then that's fine to see volume skyrocket. But if the pullback continues or it starts to go sideways, the less volume, the better. So keep that in mind. If there are any other questions on the chart, please let me know. If not, I'd encourage you to check out bullwarriorstocks.com. If you go there and sign up for the free newsletter, you'll be sent a free ebook, and with your newsletter subscription, you'll get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, all sorts of things from big boards down to penny stocks. So there's a good variety, something for everybody. It's all free. We've been making some good money with our alerts, so I'd encourage you to head to the website, check it out, and see what it's all about. One more time, this was BEHL.